Amanda's lips hit the stranger's mouth before her mind could fully catch up. Her heart was banging like a drum in her chest. Her legs were shaking. Her breath was hot and wild. Behind her, heavy footsteps slapped the pavement. "Catch her," a man's voice yelled. Amanda didn't turn around. If she turned, she might slow down. If she slowed down, she might get grabbed, so she did the only thing her scared brain could think of. She grabbed the front of the stranger's suit jacket like she knew him. She lifted her face, and she kissed him. It wasn't a gentle kiss, it was a desperate kiss. A kiss that screamed, "I'm not alone." For one heartbeat, everything froze. The stranger's body went stiff. His hands stayed at his sides. His clean suit smelled like fresh soap and something expensive. His car beside him was black and shiny, the kind of car you see on TV. Amanda kept her lips there, praying. "Please work, please work, please." Then she heard something even scarier than footsteps. Silence. The footsteps stopped. Amanda felt it. The men behind her had paused. She didn't know why. She didn't know what they were seeing. She didn't even know who this man was. All she knew was that her plan was working. Slowly she pulled back just enough to peek with her eyes. Two men stood a few steps away, big, rough. Their faces looked hard, like they didn't care about anyone crying. But now they were not moving closer. They were staring past Amanda, like they were looking at something else. Something that made their shoulders tighten. Something that made their eyes shift. Amanda's stomach twisted. What are they looking at? Then the stranger spoke, his voice low and calm, like someone who was never scared. "Are you okay?" he asked. Amanda wanted to cry. She wanted to say, "No, I'm not okay. They almost dragged me into a car." But fear held her tongue. She only nodded fast, like a small child. The two men exchanged a look. One of them muttered, "Forget it." The other hissed, "Move. Now." And just like that, they backed away. Not slowly, not proudly. They backed away like people who suddenly remembered they could get hurt too. Amanda's eyes widened. Why are they running? Then she saw it. Behind the stranger's car, near the corner of the building, 4 men stepped out like shadows coming to life. All of them wore dark suits. All of them stood tall. All of them looked alert, ready. Bodyguards. Real bodyguards. The kidnappers stopped backing away and started walking fast. Then they turned and disappeared into the crowd. Amanda's knees almost gave up. It worked. It really worked. She turned back to the stranger quickly, her mouth opening and closing like she forgot how to talk. I'm so sorry," she rushed out, her voice shaking. I didn't know. She tried to step back. She tried to let go of his suit. She tried to breathe like a normal person, but the stranger didn't let her go. His hand came up, firm but gentle, and held her waist. Amanda froze again. "Sir," she whispered. His face was close now. He was not old, maybe early 30s, clean haircut, sharp jaw, calm eyes, the kind of eyes that looked like they noticed everything. Amanda swallowed hard. "I'm sorry," she repeated. "Those men, they were chasing me. I panicked. I saw you and I thought if I acted like you were my boyfriend, they would stop." The stranger's eyes flicked past her shoulder once, checking the street. Then he looked back at her like she was the only person standing there. "You were almost taken," he said quietly. Amanda's throat tightened. "Yes." "And you ran here?" "Yes." "And the first thing you did was kiss a stranger." Amanda's cheeks burned. "I know, it was stupid." The stranger's lips twitched, like he almost smiled but stopped himself. "It wasn't stupid," he said. Amanda blinked. "It wasn't." He leaned closer. Amanda's chest squeezed. His voice dropped even lower. "It was brave." Before Amanda could answer, he pulled her closer, and he kissed her again. This time, it wasn't a panic kiss. It wasn't fast and messy. It was slow. It was firm. It was like he was making a point. Amanda's eyes widened in shock. Her hands lifted, not sure where to go. Her brain screamed, "What is happening?" But her body didn't push him away. Because for the first time in minutes, she didn't feel like prey. She felt safe. Then the kiss ended, and Amanda stared up at him, confused and trembling. "Why did you do that?" she asked, almost in a whisper. The stranger's eyes stayed on her face. To make sure they don't come back, he said. Amanda's heart jumped. They already left. He shook his head slightly. Not always. People like that sometimes watch and wait. They come back when you think you're safe. Amanda's stomach dropped again. She looked over her shoulder quickly. The street looked normal now. People were walking. Cars were passing. No one was chasing her. But Amanda still felt like danger was hiding somewhere, ready to jump out again. She turned back. "Thank you," she said, her voice cracking. "Thank you for helping me. I didn't even know you had bodyguards." The stranger glanced at the men behind the corner. One of them stepped closer, eyes scanning the area. Amanda's breath shook. Are you someone important?" The stranger didn't answer right away. He looked at her like he was choosing his words carefully. Then he said, "My name is Ibuka." Amanda blinked. "Ibuka?" He nodded. Amanda swallowed. "I'm Amanda." Ibuka's eyes softened. "Amanda." Hearing her name from his mouth made her feel strange, like her name sounded different now. Ibuka's phone buzzed in his pocket. He ignored it. Amanda tried to step back again, but his hand was still on her waist. "Sir, Ibuka," she said carefully, "I really need to go. My house is not far. I need to leave before those men." Ibuka cut in gently. "You're not going anywhere alone." Amanda's eyes widened. "What?" Ibuka's voice stayed calm, but it didn't sound like a question. "You're shaking," he said. "Your knees are weak. You can barely breathe properly." Amanda wanted to argue. She wanted to say, "I'm fine. I'm strong. I can go." But the truth was, she didn't feel strong. She felt like a small leaf in heavy rain. "I don't want to disturb you," she whispered. Ibuka's eyes narrowed slightly, like he didn't like that sentence. "You're not disturbing me," he said. "Someone tried to take you. That's serious." Amanda bit her lip. "But I don't even know you." Ibuka's gaze didn't move. "You trusted me enough to kiss me." Amanda's face heated up again. "That was different. I was scared." Ibuka nodded slowly. "Exactly." He turned his head slightly. "Chike." One of the bodyguards stepped forward instantly. "Yes, sir." Amanda's eyes widened again at the way the man answered, sharp and respectful. Ibuka spoke like someone used to being obeyed. "Check the area. Make sure the car they used is not still close." "Yes, sir." Cheek moved off quickly, talking into a small earpiece. Amanda's fingers curled nervously. "Who is this man?" Ibuka looked back at her. "Do you have anyone you trust nearby? Family? A friend?" Amanda hesitated. Her mind flashed to her small room, her aunt who always complained, her phone with a cracked screen, her tiny savings she kept hidden. She shook her head. "Not nearby." Ibuka's jaw tightened for a second, like that answer made him angry at the world, not at her. "Then you'll come with me," he said. Amanda's eyes widened. "With you? Where?" Ibuka pointed at the black car beside them. Amanda took a small step back. No, I can't." Ibuka's brows lifted. "Why?" Amanda's voice came out small. "Because I almost got forced into a car today. I can't just enter another car with a stranger." Ibuka stared at her for a moment. Then, to Amanda's shock, he nodded. "That's smart," he said. He released her waist and took one step back, giving her space. Amanda exhaled, surprised. Ibuka lifted his hand, palm open. "You can stand right there. My men will stay in sight. You don't have to enter any car." Amanda blinked. "Then how will you help me?" Ibuka's eyes stayed steady. "We'll call the police. Then we'll take you somewhere safe. Not your house. Somewhere they can't easily find you tonight." Amanda's heart sank. "Tonight?" Ibuka's voice turned even more serious. "Yes, tonight." Amanda suddenly felt cold. "Does he think they'll come back?" Her lips trembled. "I don't have money for hotels." Ibuka looked almost offended. "I didn't say you would pay." Amanda swallowed hard. "But why would you do all this for me?" Ibuka didn't answer immediately. He looked at her face like he was seeing something deeper than fear. Then he said softly, "Because you looked like someone who has been running for a long time." Amanda's eyes stung. She forced a shaky smile. "I'm okay." Ibuka's eyes didn't believe her. Another bodyguard stepped closer, speaking quietly into his earpiece. "Sir, Chike says the men entered a grey car earlier. No plate number seen. They might have used tape." Ibuka's face hardened. Amanda's stomach twisted again. They planned this. Ibuka turned back to Amanda. "Do you know them?" Amanda shook her head quickly. "No, I swear." "Did anyone threaten you recently? Call you? Message you?" Amanda hesitated. Her mind flashed to yesterday evening. A strange number. A message. "We know where you go every morning." She had deleted it quickly and told herself it was a prank. Now her blood turned to ice. Ibuka noticed her pause instantly. "Amanda," he said gently, "tell me the truth." Amanda's lips parted, fear filling her mouth like bitter water. I got a message," she admitted. "Yesterday, I thought it was just someone trying to scare me." Ibuka's eyes sharpened. "What did it say?" Amanda looked down. "It said, 'They know where I go every morning.'" Ibuka's jaw clenched. He turned to one of the bodyguards. "Bring my phone." The bodyguard brought it immediately. Ibuka looked back at Amanda. "We're not guessing anymore. We're treating this as real danger." Amanda's voice shook. "But why me? I'm not rich. I'm nobody." Ibuka stared at her, and his voice became flat and serious. "No one is nobody to kidnappers," he said. "Sometimes they take you because they think someone will pay. Sometimes they take you because they want to hurt someone else. Sometimes—" He paused. Amanda's heart pounded. "Sometimes what?" Ibuka's eyes stayed locked on hers. "Sometimes," he said slowly, "they take you because you saw something you weren't supposed to see." Amanda's breath stopped. Her eyes widened. Her mind spun. "Saw something? What did I see? When?" Ibuka's bodyguards shifted slightly, scanning the street again. Amanda felt the world tilt, like she might fall. Ibuka leaned closer and spoke in a low voice, so only she could hear. "Amanda, are you sure you didn't notice anything before they came for you today?" Amanda's lips trembled as she tried to remember. Then, like a sudden slap, a memory hit her. A man in a red cap standing near the corner earlier. A grey car parked too long. A phone camera pointed in her direction. Amanda's eyes filled with fear, because she had noticed it, and she had ignored it. Amanda's voice came out as a whisper. I think someone was watching me." Ibuka's face went still, and at that exact moment, a car horn blared loudly behind them. Amanda flinched and turned. A grey car rolled slowly down the street again, passing too close, too slow, like it was looking. Amanda's blood turned to ice. Ibuka's bodyguard stepped forward instantly, forming a wall. Ibuka grabbed Amanda's hand. His grip was firm, protective. "Don't look at them," he said quietly. "Stay behind me." Amanda's heart was pounding so hard it hurt. The grey car slowed even more. A window rolled down a little. Amanda saw a hand inside, holding a phone, recording. Ibuka's eyes narrowed, and one of the bodyguards reached inside his suit jacket, as if he was about to pull something out. Amanda's mouth went dry because she realized something terrible. The kidnappers didn't leave. They were circling back. And now they had found her again. The grey car suddenly stopped right in front of them, window still half open, while Ibuka's bodyguards closed in fast, and Amanda heard Ibuka say, in a cold, dangerous voice, "Now they've made a mistake." Ibuka's hand tightened around Amanda's fingers. "Don't move," he said, his voice calm but sharp, like a blade hidden under silk. "Whatever happens, stay behind me." Amanda nodded quickly, even though her whole body wanted to run. The grey car sat there, engine still on, humming like a dangerous animal. The window was half open. A phone was still raised inside, pointing straight at them. One of Ibuka's bodyguards stepped forward, his hand already inside his suit jacket. "Sir," he said quietly, "should we—" Ibuka raised one finger. The bodyguard stopped instantly. Ibuka took one slow step toward the car. Amanda's heart nearly jumped out of her chest. "Ibuka," she whispered, "please don't." He didn't look back. He stopped close enough for the driver to hear him clearly. "You have 10 seconds, Ibuka said evenly, to drive away and never come back." The phone inside the car lowered slightly. A rough voice laughed. "And who are you?" Ibuka smiled. It wasn't a happy smile. It was the kind of smile that made grown men feel small. "I'm the man you shouldn't have followed," he replied. The driver hesitated. Amanda watched every second stretch like chewing gum. 1 second, 2 seconds. Then the car suddenly reversed hard, tires screeching, and sped off down the road. The bodyguards moved instantly, 2 of them jumping into another black SUV parked nearby. "Follow them," Ibuka ordered. "Don't lose them." "Yes, sir." The SUV roared to life and chased after the grey car. Silence fell again. Amanda's knees buckled. Ibuka turned just in time to catch her before she hit the ground. "Hey," he said softly. "I've got you." She clutched his suit, shaking now that the danger had passed, at least for the moment. I thought they were going to take me," she whispered, tears finally spilling. Ibuka guided her to the side of his car and helped her sit on the edge of the pavement. "You're safe right now," he said. "Breathe. Slow." He showed her how to breathe, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Amanda followed, though her chest still hurt. "I'm sorry," she said again, wiping her face. "I keep causing trouble for you." Ibuka crouched in front of her so they were eye level. "Amanda," he said gently, "this trouble was already looking for you. I just walked into it with you." She sniffed. "You don't even know me." He nodded. "That's true." "Then why are you helping me like this?" Ibuka studied her face for a long moment, as if choosing his truth. "Because I've seen fear like yours before," he said finally, "and I know what happens when people ignore it." Amanda's lips parted. "What happens?" "People disappear," he said quietly. A chill ran through her. A black SUV pulled up again. One of the bodyguards stepped out. "Sir," he reported, "they escaped into traffic. But we got the car model and partial plate. We're tracking." Ibuka nodded. "Good. Alert the rest." The man nodded and stepped away. Amanda stared at Ibuka. "You talk like you do this all the time." Ibuka stood and opened the passenger door of his car. "Get in," he said. She froze. "I thought you said I don't have to." "That was before," he replied. "Now they know you're with me. That makes you safer. But only if you stay close." Amanda hesitated. Then she saw something inside the car. The inside wasn't flashy. It was clean. Calm. There was a small screen showing security cameras and maps. This wasn't just a rich man's car. This was a protected man's car. She swallowed and got in. Ibuka closed the door gently and walked around to the driver's side. As the car pulled away, Amanda hugged her arms around herself. "Where are we going?" she asked. "To a safe place," Ibuka said. "Somewhere they can't just walk in." She nodded, staring out the window. The city passed by. Shops, people, noise, like everything was normal. But Amanda knew her life had just split into before and after. After a few minutes, she spoke again. "Ibuka." "Yes." Are you a politician?" He smiled slightly. "No." "A celebrity?" "No." "Then why do you have bodyguards like this?" He glanced at her briefly, then back to the road. "Because money makes people greedy." Amanda frowned. "So, you're rich?" Ibuka chuckled softly. "That's one way to put it." She didn't push further. They drove through a tall gate guarded by armed men. The gate closed behind them with a heavy sound. Amanda's eyes widened. Inside was a large compound, green lawns, bright lights, security cameras everywhere. Her mouth fell open. "Wow." Ibuka parked and turned off the engine. "Welcome," he said, "to my headache." She let out a small laugh without meaning to. He led her inside the house. The place was quiet, big, clean. Too clean. Amanda suddenly felt very small. A woman in uniform approached. "Sir, is everything okay?" "Yes," Ibuka replied. "Please prepare a room. Our guest will stay tonight." Amanda's heart jumped. "Stay?" Ibuka looked at her. "Just tonight. Until we know more." She nodded slowly. The woman smiled kindly at Amanda and led her upstairs. The room was bigger than Amanda's entire apartment. A soft bed, warm lights, a bathroom that looked like a hotel. Amanda sat on the bed, stunned. When the woman left, Ibuka stood by the door. "You can lock it from inside," he said. "No one will enter without permission." "Thank you," Amanda whispered. He hesitated, then added, "I'll have clothes brought if you need." She shook her head quickly. "This is already too much." Ibuka studied her for a moment. "Rest, we'll talk in the morning." He turned to leave. "Ibuka?" she called. He paused. "Thank you for kissing me," she said, cheeks warming. "It saved my life." He smiled softly. "You saved yourself. I just played along." The door closed behind him. Amanda lay back on the bed, staring at the ceiling. Her mind replayed everything: the chase, the kiss, the grey car, his arms around her. She touched her lips. What just happened to me? Downstairs, Ibuka stood with his head of security. "They were watching her," the man said. "This wasn't random." Ibuka nodded. "Dig into her background, quietly." "Yes, sir." "And increase security," Ibuka added. "If they followed her today, they might try again." The man hesitated. "Sir, bringing her here puts her in your world." Ibuka's jaw tightened. She didn't ask for this. Neither did I, he thought. Amanda couldn't sleep. Every sound made her jump. She finally got up to drink water. As she stepped into the hallway, she heard voices downstairs. She moved closer to the stairs quietly. "If they realize who you are," someone said, "they'll use her." Amanda froze. "Use her?" Ibuka's voice replied, low and serious. "They already tried. And if they find out she's here—" "I won't let that happen," Ibuka snapped. Amanda's heart pounded. Who is this man really? She crept back into her room, shaken. She locked the door. Morning came too fast. A maid knocked gently. "Breakfast is ready, madam." "Madam," Amanda blinked. She changed and went downstairs. Ibuka was already there, reading something on his tablet. "Good morning," he said. "Good morning," she replied. They ate quietly for a moment. Then Ibuka spoke. "Amanda," he said, "there's something you need to know." Her spoon paused mid-air. "Yes?" "My team checked your phone records." Her heart jumped. "You did what?" "We found more than one message," he continued. "They've been watching you for weeks." Amanda felt dizzy. "Why?" Ibuka looked at her carefully. "Because of where you work." Her breath caught. "My work?" "You clean offices at night," he said. "One of those offices belongs to a company under investigation." Amanda's mouth went dry. "I don't know anything," she said quickly. "I believe you," Ibuka replied, "but they might not." Amanda's hands shook. "What should I do?" Ibuka leaned forward. "You'll stay here for now," he said. "And you'll tell me everything you've seen, every small detail." She nodded, terrified. Then her phone buzzed on the table. An unknown number. Ibuka's eyes sharpened. "Don't answer." The phone buzzed again and again. Then a message appeared. Amanda read it, and her blood ran cold. "Unknown number. We know where you slept last night." Amanda looked up slowly, fear flooding her eyes. "Ibuka," she whispered. He read the message. His face went hard. "They're closer than I thought," he said. Outside, a car engine started just beyond the gate. Too early, too loud. Ibuka stood abruptly. "Security," he called out. Amanda's heart raced as she realized one terrifying truth. The danger followed her here. As armed security rushed toward the gate, Ibuka grabbed Amanda's hand again, and she heard the loud crash of metal outside, followed by a scream. "Get her out," Ibuka ordered sharply, and Amanda realized this time the kiss had started a war she never meant to be part of. The loud crash outside the gate shook the house. Amanda screamed. Ibuka pulled her toward him at once, his arm wrapping around her shoulders like a shield. "Stay with me," he said firmly. "Don't panic." But panic was already inside her, racing through her blood. Outside, voices shouted, boots hit the ground, walkie-talkies crackled. Amanda's heart beat so fast it felt like it might tear out of her chest. "What happened?" she whispered. Ibuka didn't answer immediately. He was listening, really listening, his eyes sharp, his body still. Then his head of security rushed into the dining room. "Sir," the man said quickly, "a delivery truck rammed the outer gate." The driver ran. No injuries, but it was a test, Ibuka finished calmly. Yes, sir. Amanda's knees felt weak again. A test? She asked in a small voice. Ibuka looked down at her. They wanted to see how fast we respond, how tight the security is, and whether you're really here. Amanda's mouth went dry. So, they know. Ibuka nodded. They know enough. He turned to the security head. Lock the compound, no one in or out without my word. Yes, sir. As the man hurried off, Amanda grabbed Ibuka's sleeve. I don't understand, she said, her voice shaking. Why would anyone go this far for me? I clean offices. I mind my business. I barely talk to people. Ibuka guided her to the couch and sat beside her. Sometimes, he said slowly, the most dangerous people don't care who you are. They care about what you might know. Amanda's eyes filled with fear. But I don't know anything. Not yet, Ibuka replied gently, but you saw something. Maybe you didn't even realize it mattered. Amanda squeezed her hands together, trying to remember. Night shifts, empty offices, shiny floors, quiet hallways. Then it hit her. Her breath caught. There was a meeting, she said suddenly. Ibuka leaned forward. What kind of meeting? I wasn't supposed to be there, Amanda continued, her voice trembling. I was cleaning the hallway. The door was open. I heard voices. What did you hear? Ibuka asked. Amanda swallowed. Men arguing. About money. About moving something. Something illegal. Ibuka's face grew serious. And you saw them? He asked. Amanda nodded slowly. Just for a second. One of them looked at me. Our eyes met. Ibuka exhaled slowly. That's enough, he said. That's more than enough. Amanda felt like crying again. I didn't mean to listen, I swear. I know, Ibuka said, but to them you became a loose end. Amanda hugged herself. So what happens now? Ibuka stood up. Now, he said, we make sure you stay alive. Hours passed, but no one relaxed. Amanda was moved to another part of the house, an inner room with no windows, guarded at all times. She hated it. It felt like a cage. I can't breathe in here, she said softly to Ibuka when he came to check on her. This is temporary, he assured her, just until we calm things down. But they already know I'm here, she said. What if they come again? Ibuka looked at her for a long moment. Then they'll meet me properly, he said. Something in his voice sent a chill down her spine. Later that evening, Ibuka received a call. Amanda watched his face change as he listened. Yes, he said, I understand. No, don't move yet. He ended the call and turned to her. What? She asked anxiously. They traced the grey car, he said. It belongs to a shell company. What does that mean? Amanda asked. It means the people behind this are careful, Ibuka replied, and powerful. Amanda felt small again. Ibuka, she said quietly, who are you really? He paused. Then he said, I own companies, many of them. Her eyes widened slightly. So you're very rich? Yes. Like billionaire rich? She asked, half joking, half afraid. Ibuka didn't smile. Yes, Amanda, he said, that rich. Her breath caught. The word felt heavy in the room. Billionaire. Suddenly everything made sense. The security, the compound, the calm way he faced danger. She looked at him differently now. And you kissed a stranger, she said softly, almost to herself. Ibuka met her eyes. You kissed me first. Her cheeks warmed. Silence fell between them. Then Amanda said the question that had been burning inside her. If they know who you are, won't they use me against you? Ibuka didn't answer right away, and that scared her more than anything. Night fell again. Amanda couldn't sleep. She sat on the bed, hugging her knees, listening to the distant sounds of guards walking. Her phone buzzed. She jumped. Unknown number. She didn't touch it. Then another message came. Unknown number. You think he can protect you forever? Her hands shook. Another message followed almost immediately. You kissed the wrong man. Amanda's breath came fast and shallow. She rushed out of the room and found Ibuka in his study. They're texting me again, she said, holding out her phone. Ibuka read the messages, his jaw tightening. "They're trying to scare you," he said. "It's working," she whispered. Ibuka stood and walked toward her. "They want you to feel alone," he said. "You're not." He took her phone and handed it to a security officer outside. "Block everything," he ordered. "Trace the source." "Yes, sir." Amanda watched, feeling helpless. "Come," Ibuka said gently. "Sit." She sat on the couch across from him. "You shouldn't have to deal with this," she said quietly. "If I leave, maybe they'll stop." Ibuka's eyes hardened. "No." "But they won't stop," he interrupted. "They'll just chase you again. And next time, you won't have anyone to kiss." Amanda swallowed. The memory of that kiss flashed in her mind. "How can a kiss change everything?" she asked softly. Ibuka's voice dropped. "Because they saw you with me." Amanda looked up. "So now I'm a target twice." "Yes," he said honestly, "but also safer than you were before." She gave a weak smile. "That doesn't sound comforting." Ibuka leaned back, rubbing his temple. "Amanda, listen to me. These people don't play fair. They use fear. They use silence. They make people disappear." Amanda's eyes filled again. "I don't want to disappear." "You won't," he said firmly. "Not on my watch." The way he said it made her heart skip. The next day, Ibuka made a decision. "You're leaving the house," he told her at breakfast. Amanda froze. "What?" "Not alone," he added quickly. "With me." "Where are we going?" she asked. "Somewhere public," Ibuka replied, "where they won't dare try anything." Amanda hesitated. "What if they're watching?" "They are," Ibuka said calmly. "That's why we're doing this," she frowned. "I don't understand." "They expect me to hide you," he explained, "so we'll do the opposite." Amanda's stomach twisted. Soon she was dressed in borrowed clothes. Simple, neat. They stepped into a different car this time, with even more security. As they drove through the city, Amanda felt eyes everywhere. At a red light she whispered, "Ibuka, I'm scared." He reached over and squeezed her hand once. "I know," he said, "so am I." That surprised her. "You?" she asked. He nodded, "because now it's not just business." They arrived at a high-end hotel. People stared as Ibuka stepped out of the car. Some whispered his name. Amanda realized then just how known he was. Inside, cameras flashed. Ibuka didn't let go of her hand. "Stay close," he murmured. They sat in the lounge. Amanda tried to act normal. Then she felt it. A gaze. She looked up. Across the room, a man sat alone, watching them. He lifted his glass slowly and smiled. Amanda's heart dropped. She grabbed Ibuka's arm. "That man. I've seen him before." Ibuka followed her gaze. The smile across the room widened. Ibuka's expression turned cold. "I know him," Ibuka said quietly. "Who is he?" Amanda asked. "A problem," Ibuka replied. The man stood up and began walking toward them. Security moved instantly, blocking his path. The man laughed. "Relax," he said loudly. "I just want to talk." Ibuka stood. "Not here," he said. The man's eyes slid to Amanda. "Is that the girl?" he asked with interest. "She's prettier than I imagined." Amanda felt sick. Ibuka stepped forward. "Say her name again," Ibuka warned, "and you won't walk out of this place." The man raised his hands mockingly. "Easy, Ibuka," he said. "We just want what she knows." Amanda's legs shook. "I don't know anything," she cried. The man tilted his head. "Then why are you shaking?" Ibuka turned to security. "Get her out," he ordered. Amanda felt hands guide her away. As she was led toward another exit, she heard the man call out behind her, "You can run, little girl, but the truth always catches up." The doors closed behind her. Her breath came in short gasps. She realized something then, with terrifying clarity. The kiss didn't just save her life. It tied her fate to Ibuka's enemies. And there was no turning back. As Amanda was rushed into the waiting car, her phone buzzed again. One last message flashing on the screen. "Unknown number. Tonight you choose him or your life." Amanda stared at the message on her phone. "Tonight you choose him or your life." Her fingers went numb. The car door slammed shut, and the engine roared as the driver sped away from the hotel. Two security cars followed closely behind. Amanda felt trapped inside her own skin. She looked at Ibuka. He was silent. Too silent. His jaw was tight, his eyes dark and focused, like a storm building inside him. "Ibuka," she whispered. "They said I have to choose." He turned to her slowly. "Choose what?" he asked calmly. "Between you and my life." Ibuka's lips curved into a small, cold smile. "Then they've already lost," he said. Amanda blinked. "What do you mean?" Ibuka leaned closer, his voice low but steady. "Because they think fear still controls this game." The car drove through another gate, this one different from his house. Bigger, more guarded. Blue and red lights flashed ahead. Police. Amanda's heart skipped. "Why are there police here?" Ibuka didn't look away from the road ahead. "Because this ends today." Inside the secured police facility, everything moved fast. Officers saluted Ibuka. Amanda's eyes widened. They know him. A senior police officer approached, shaking Ibuka's hand. "Sir," the officer said, "we're ready." Amanda looked between them, confused. "Ready for what?" Ibuka turned to her. "To stop running," he said. They were led into a large room filled with screens, live camera feeds from roads, buildings, and phone traces. Amanda felt dizzy. "This looks like a movie," she whispered. Ibuka glanced at her. "This is real life, and this is what power is for, not hiding, but protecting." The officer cleared his throat. "Sir, we've identified the man from the hotel. His name is Victor Hale, known for illegal deals, intimidation, and disappearances. We've been building a case, but we needed leverage." Amanda's chest tightened. "Leverage?" Ibuka looked at her gently. "You." Her breath caught. "Me?" "Yes," the officer confirmed. "They made contact with you directly. That's the mistake they made." Amanda hugged herself. "So, what happens now?" Ibuka turned to the officer. "We give them exactly what they want." Amanda's eyes widened in fear. "What do they want?" Ibuka met her gaze. "They want you scared, alone, easy to grab." She shook her head. "I can't do that." "You won't be alone," Ibuka said firmly. "Not for 1 second." That evening, the city lights came on like stars. Amanda sat in the back of an unmarked police vehicle, her heart beating fast. She wore a small earpiece. Her hands trembled slightly. "This is crazy," she whispered. Ibuka's voice came through the earpiece, calm and close. "You're doing well. Just breathe." Police units were everywhere, hidden, watching, waiting. Amanda was the bait, and she hated it. Her phone buzzed, unknown number. Her throat went dry. Ibuka's voice came in instantly. "Answer it." Her hand shook as she pressed the screen. "Hello?" A familiar voice laughed on the other end. "Good girl," Victor said. "You chose life." Amanda swallowed hard. "What do you want?" "To meet," he replied. "Alone." She hesitated. Victor chuckled. "Don't try anything smart. We're watching." Amanda forced her voice to stay steady. "Where?" He gave her a location, a deserted warehouse near the docks. Ibuka's voice came through her ear. "We have him." Amanda ended the call, tears filling her eyes. "I'm scared," she whispered. Ibuka's voice softened. "I know, but listen to me carefully. Everything you do tonight, you do it slowly. You don't argue. You don't fight. You just talk." "What if they hurt me?" she asked. "They won't," Ibuka said firmly, "because they won't get the chance." The warehouse stood dark and silent when Amanda arrived. One car, dim lights, too quiet. Amanda stepped out, her legs shaking. She could feel eyes on her, even though she couldn't see anyone. "Victor," she called softly. A slow clap echoed. "Well done," Victor said, stepping out of the shadows. 2 men followed behind him. Amanda's heart raced, but she remembered Ibuka's voice, slow, calm. "You said you wanted to talk," she said. Victor smiled. "We did." He walked closer, circling her like she was an object. "You caused a lot of trouble," he said, running to a billionaire. Kissing him in public. Amanda swallowed. "I was trying to survive." Victor leaned in. "You survived too much." One of the men stepped closer. Amanda's breath hitched. Then, blue lights exploded everywhere. Police, drop your weapons. The night filled with shouting. Guns raised. Victor spun around in shock. What? Police flooded the warehouse from every side. Ibuka stepped out from behind a car. Calm, tall, untouchable. His eyes locked on Victor. It's over, Ibuka said. Victor laughed nervously. You think this ends me? Ibuka walked closer. No, you ended yourself the moment you touched her. Victor sneered. She's nobody. Ibuka's voice turned cold. She's a witness, and she's under my protection. Police officers grabbed Victor and his men, forcing them to the ground. Handcuffs clicked shut. Amanda collapsed to her knees, sobbing. Ibuka rushed to her and held her tightly. It's over, he whispered. You're safe. She clung to him, crying harder than she ever had. Police officers moved efficiently, reading rights, loading the men into vehicles. The senior officer approached. Sir, we've got enough evidence to hold them. Messages, threats, surveillance. This will stick. Ibuka nodded. Good. Victor was dragged past them, struggling. He looked at Amanda with pure hate. This isn't finished, he shouted. Ibuka stepped in front of Amanda instantly. It is for you, he said calmly. Victor was shoved into the police van, the door slamming shut. Silence followed. Amanda's whole body shook. Ibuka held her until her breathing slowed. You did it, he said softly. No, she whispered. You did. Ibuka shook his head. You were brave. Later that night, Amanda sat wrapped in a blanket at Ibuka's home. A police officer took her statement gently. When it was over, the officer smiled. You helped stop dangerous people. Amanda didn't feel like a hero. She felt tired. Ibuka walked her to the balcony. The city lights stretched out below them. I don't know how to thank you, she said quietly. Ibuka leaned on the railing beside her. You already did, he replied. She looked at him. How? You trusted me, he said. Amanda hesitated. What happens now? Ibuka looked out at the city. Now the police take over, he said, and you get a chance to live without fear. She nodded slowly. And you? She asked. Ibuka turned to her. His eyes were softer now. Now, he said, I figure out what this kiss started. Amanda's heart skipped. She looked down at her hands. I didn't mean for any of this to happen. I know, Ibuka said gently, but some things happen because they're meant to. Silence fell again, but this time it was warm, safe. Yet deep inside, Amanda felt it. This wasn't the end. Not really, because even though the danger was gone, her life had already changed forever. And Ibuka knew it too. As Amanda finally went to bed, exhausted but alive, Ibuka stood alone in his study. His phone rang, a private line. He answered. A voice spoke on the other end, cold, unfamiliar. You won tonight, Ibuka, the voice said, but this girl you saved, she belongs to a much bigger story than you know. Ibuka's grip tightened on the phone. Who is this? He demanded. The line went dead. Ibuka stared at the screen, his expression dark, because for the first time since this began, he realized Amanda might not just be a victim, she might be the key to something far more dangerous. Morning light crept softly into the room. Amanda woke slowly, confused for a moment about where she was. The bed was too soft, the curtains were too heavy, the air smelled clean, not like her small room back home. Then everything rushed back. The chase. The kiss, the threats, the warehouse, the police lights. Her heart skipped and she sat up quickly. She was safe. She took a deep breath and swung her legs off the bed. When she opened the door, a maid smiled warmly at her. Good morning, madam. Breakfast is ready. Amanda paused at the word madam, then smiled shyly. Good morning. Downstairs, Ibuka was already awake. He stood near the window, phone in hand, his suit jacket off, white shirt sleeves rolled up. He looked tired, but calm. He turned when he heard her footsteps. Good morning, Amanda, he said. Good morning, she replied. I slept Yinam for the first time in days. Ibuka smiled softly. That's good. They sat at the table together. For a moment, neither spoke. Finally, Amanda broke the silence. You got a call last night, she said carefully. After everything. Ibuka nodded. Yes. Is there still danger? She asked. He looked at her honestly. No, not the kind we faced before. Amanda frowned. Then what did the caller mean? Ibuka folded his hands together. They were trying to scare me, he said, to make it seem like this was bigger than it was. Amanda swallowed. Was it? Ibuka shook his head slowly. The people who targeted you were criminals already under watch. When they panicked, they tried to sound powerful. That's all? Amanda let out a long breath she didn't realize she'd been holding. So it's really over? She asked. Yes, Ibuka said firmly. It's over. Her shoulders relaxed, and for the first time since that day on the street, she smiled fully. Later that morning, a police vehicle arrived. The senior officer from the previous night stepped out, this time smiling. Good news, he said. Charges have been filed, multiple counts. They won't be walking free anytime soon. Amanda felt tears sting her eyes. Thank you. You were brave, the officer replied. That helped more than you know. After the police left, Amanda stood quietly by the gate, watching the vehicle disappear. Ibuka joined her. You don't have to stay here anymore, he said gently. If you want to go home, I'll make sure you're protected. Amanda hesitated. Home, her small room, her old routine, her quiet life. She turned to him. What if I don't want to go back to how things were? Ibuka looked at her carefully. What do you want, Amanda? She thought for a moment. I want to live without fear, she said, and I want a chance. A real one. Ibuka nodded slowly. Then let me help you. Over the next few days, Amanda's life changed in ways she never imagined. Ibuka arranged proper protection until the case fully settled. He helped her move out of her unsafe apartment. He listened, really listened, as she talked about her life, her struggles, her dreams. She learned about him too, not just the billionaire, but the man. She learned how he grew up with little, how money never made him feel powerful. Responsibility did. How he trusted few people because power attracted the wrong kind of attention. One evening, as they sat in the quiet living room, Amanda asked the question that had been sitting in her heart. Ibuka, why did you really kiss me back that first day? He smiled faintly. Because I saw fear in your eyes, and courage too. She looked down. I was shaking. Yes, he said, but you didn't freeze. You acted. That matters. She met his eyes. And after that? Ibuka was quiet for a moment. After that, he said, I couldn't pretend you were just a stranger anymore. Her heart beat faster. Weeks passed. The court case moved forward. News spread quietly about the arrest of a dangerous ring. Amanda's name was protected, her identity sealed. One afternoon, Ibuka invited Amanda to his office. She stood in front of the tall glass building, nervous. I don't belong here, she murmured. Ibuka smiled. You belong wherever you choose to stand. Inside, people greeted Ibuka respectfully and looked at Amanda with curiosity. He led her into his private office. I have something for you, he said. Amanda's stomach fluttered. What kind of something? He handed her a folder. Inside was an offer letter, education support, a job opportunity, training. Her eyes widened. This is too much. It's not charity, Ibuka said. It's opportunity. You work hard. You earn it. Tears filled her eyes. No one has ever done this for me. Ibuka's voice softened. Someone should have. She hugged the folder to her chest. Thank you. That evening they stood on the balcony again, the same place where fear once lived. The city lights glowed below them. Amanda spoke softly. Do you ever think about that kiss? Ibuka smiled. Every day. She laughed lightly. I kissed you to survive. And I kissed you, he replied, because I didn't want you to feel alone. Silence settled, comfortable, warm. Then Ibuka turned to her, serious. Amanda, I need to ask you something. Her heart jumped. Okay. When all of this started, he said, you didn't know who I was. You didn't care about my money or my name. She nodded. I just needed help. And now you know, he continued, so I need to know. Are you here because of what I have, or who I am? Amanda stepped closer and looked him straight in the eyes. "I'm here," she said clearly, "because when I was terrified and running for my life, you didn't push me away. You protected me." Ibuka exhaled, relief washing over his face. Then slowly, he reached for her hand. "Then let me ask you properly," he said. He looked nervous for the first time since she met him. "Amanda, would you like to start something real with me? No fear, no hiding, just us." Tears slipped down her cheeks as she smiled. "Yes," she whispered, "I would." Ibuka pulled her gently into his arms. This time, when he kissed her, there was no fear, no chase, no danger, just warmth, just choice, just love. Months later, Amanda stood in front of a mirror, barely recognizing the confident woman looking back. Not because of clothes, but because of strength. She was studying, working, smiling again. One evening, as she and Ibuka walked hand in hand through a busy street, Amanda laughed. "Do you know how crazy this story sounds?" she said. "A woman kisses a stranger to escape kidnappers. And he turns out to be a billionaire." Ibuka chuckled. "Life writes strange stories." She squeezed his hand. "I'm glad I ran that day." "So am I," he replied. "They chased you straight into my life." Amanda looked up at him, her eyes shining. "And I never ran again." They walked forward together, into a future neither of them planned, but both chose. Moral of the story: sometimes the bravest thing you can do is act, even when you're afraid. One moment of courage can change your whole life. Thanks for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel for amazing stories.